Welcome to the picturesque Lockita Recreation Ground. It's Ascension tournament action, week 7, and we're expecting a crucial match between 4th place coming up against 5th place Cunupia FC. Of course, in 4th position, 2 wins, 2 losses for them, and coming up against Deportivo Point 14, 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. And Colin Murray is alongside me as he look around, and it's a bit hazy as the sun goes down here in La Hockita. Usually a ground pumped for football action on a Friday evening. Just about 36 degrees Celsius and a slight wind, not too much. And we're expecting a fantastic game of football. Crucial match, Colin Murray, who joins alongside me. Cunupia FC against Point 14. Who wants it more today?
Oh, well, that's a good question, James. Crucial match, as you said. Team in 4th position in Cunupia, Deportivo in 5th. A 4-point gap. So I think it's important for Deportivo to win this game. If they win this game, they go within 1 point of Cunupia. But Cunupia, of course, they want to progress even further to get closer to the top 3. So it's going to be a real good game, hard game, intense game. And as you rightly said, it's going to be a question of who wants it more. But your guess is as good as mine. Who's going to win this game?
Yeah, I tell you who has been dominant. Let's take a look at the table now. And Terminex La Hockita Rangers, they continue to dominate atop the table at the moment. And you look at the bottom, just as they are geographically, Moruga FC, they are there. They're going to be coming up against 3rd place Defence Force later on. Moruga in search of their first points. They did get 2 goals in their last match, albeit in a defeat. How do you feel the mood is coming up against the Defence Force team?
It's going to be difficult. You look at the table there, Defence Force in 3rd with, 15 points at the moment or, 14 points at the moment. So it's going to be tough on Moruga. I honestly can't see them getting anything, out of that game against Defence Force. In fact, if Defence Force win, they just go top of the table until Rangers play again. They have lost a couple of games, 2-1, 1-0. But, coming up against Defence Force, a real tough team, a team that is going to come all out against them for victory, I can't see Moruga getting anything out of the game.
Yeah, we might see a lot of goals in that match. Well, speaking of goals, Cunupia FC, they've been scoring lots of goals. Kevin Showtime Woodley, while Point 14, their defense has been top of the line. And speaking of them, we spoke to their assistant coach, Kester Cornwall. Here with one of the SSFL's deadliest strikers and now assistant coach of Deportivo Point 14, Kester Cornwall. Kester, a big match coming up against Cunupia. You're just 1 place below them. How crucial is this match?
Well, in terms of us moving up the table, this is probably, next match is always the most important match. So we prepared properly coming into this match, and we're looking at goal number 3 points.
What about the ingredients in your team right now? You think you've got all the ingredients and pieces in place to compete further in this tournament?
Yeah, most definitely. We think we have all the pieces because we have a good mix with senior and youth. So we've been at it for a while now. So we think, we're not where we want to be right now, but we think we're heading in the right direction.
What do you think the Achilles heel for your team has been? 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses in this competition?
I think we're just a bit inconsistent in front of goal, because if the problem is not us creating the chances, because we get in there, we creating chances. It's just us, doing the finishing touches on the ball.
Many observers have heard commenting about the defense of your team. Do you give your defense the same credit that others give them, and what do you think the other parts of your team need to learn from them?
It's not so much what they need to learn from them, but the defense been leading the way for us. For the most part of it, we haven't been conceding much in our recent games. But overall is a collective effort, a team effort. So, once everybody put the best foot forward, I think we'll be good.
Thanks, Kester. Best of luck.
All right, thanks very much, man.
James, just important, some of the points he made about, wanting it a little bit more, playing all-round football, but creating the chances and not putting them away. And I think that's hurt them because we've looked at Deportivo. They move the ball around very nicely. They get in front of the goal. And when it's just to put it into the back of the net, they miss the chances. And I think that's the difference with them winning 4 games and drawing 2. So very interesting points the assistant coach Cornwall made.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that defense is they're going to be called into action because Cunupia have been scoring goals with Kevin Showtime Woodley, getting among the goals. In fact, he's the leading tournament goal scorer. And we spoke to their coach, Michael Defoe. We're here with Cunupia FC coach Michael Defoe. Big match coming up today. You're in 4th position, coming up against Deportivo.
Yes, we are in 4th. and we're coming up against Deportivo. I think they're just at one step behind us for today. Yeah.
You've already lost 2 matches in this competition so far. You felt those were crucial missteps, chasing the top teams?
Say again?
You lost 2 matches coming into the competition so far. Do you think those are crucial missteps because you're in contention chasing the big teams at the moment?
I think it was just one of those days where we didn't get it right. We wouldn't know how crucial it is until the season ends, because we still have like 12 more games, today included. So yeah, but us being a young team, in the sense that we're rebuilding, we have to have that experience, and we can't get the experience unless we go through the experience.
I've heard the word rebuilding several times in viewing interviews. Are you satisfied that your team is exactly where you want them just yet?
No, we're probably in a week, 2 weeks from now. We should be where we want to be.
What about the form? Kevin Showtime Woodley, he has been in great form this tournament.
Yes, he has, and I hope it continues as we go along, and that he remains consistent, because he is a great player. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Coach, and best of luck.
Thanks a lot.
Well, Michael Defoe, Mr. Cool, isn't he? I mean, you listen to that interview with him, and everything was just, hey, we're going to do it. We're okay. Don't worry about us. We're rebuilding. And, that type of thing. He's a very cool customer. I think he understands his team. He understands the quality in his team. He understands what they're capable of doing. He understands their weaknesses. And, if they can get a victory today, which they can, of course, and if Woodley happens to score a goal or 2, as he's been doing, they means they're getting closer to the top of the table. And once they get closer to the top, the confidence will start to ooze out of this Cunupia team.
I'm glad you used that word confidence because Point Fortin, they're coming off a win, 3-0 over Central Soccer World, while Cunupia, their last match, they lost. How does confidence get affected there?
That won't affect Cunupia. I get the impression that they're a team that they love to play football, they love to win. If they lose, it's a setback, but it's not going to be, they're not going to be depressed, they're not going to be thinking about it. I think they will just look forward to this game here this afternoon and go out there firing on all cylinders and trying to ensure that the gap between themselves and Deportivo even gets bigger. But having said that, James, Deportivo is a dangerous team and they can turn the tables on this Cunupia team.
All right, well, we're looking forward to some dangerous and exciting football. We take a break and we come back with more.
The situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches, right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladden's son come here for a carnival if you'll interview him, eh?
But how could you defend one shot, one kill?
What? You want me to throw a pillow at him?
I didn't say that.
No, well, if a roach jumps in front of you now, what will you do?
Run.
Oh, Jesus, Lord Father.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
Lasso Frame Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. Our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We
It's a recreation ground. This is Ascension football action, week 7. And we expect a fantastic matchup as Cunupia FC, 4th place, they come up against Deportivo Point Fortin. A match that both teams will be using as a stepping stone to make their way to the top of the table. My name is James Saunders. Alongside me, I've got Colin Murray. In just a second, we take a look at the lineup for both these teams as they've begun making their way out into the middle. Deportivo Point Fortin playing in their traditional orange, white and blue, coming up against Cunupia FC, led by Kevon Showtime Woodley. That's the cast in charge of enforcing all the rules, making sure all regular and correct. The referees to the far left of your screen, the man who has been in phenomenal form all tournament, Kevon Showtime Woodley. He is the tournament's top scorer. And Deportivo Point Fortin at the right of your screen, led by Houghton Hector, former TNT International, W Connection man. He's won it all at club level, locally, and he will be hoping to guide his home community to another win. So in just a second, we'll have the team lineups and the toss. Colin Murray, your initial thoughts of the match?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, and any team here can really win it. There's no clear favorite. I would think you have to think Cunupia is more of a clear favorite simply because they are top in terms of the standings. But let's have a look at the teams, James.
Well, Marvin Phillip in goal for Deportivo Point Fortin. He has been rested for this match, as he has been the last match. Jordan Riley, the number 10 former Naparima man, he also sits on the sidelines, while Hector and Mark Ramdeen make their way into the starting lineup for what looks like a very strong and unchanged Deportivo Point Fortin team. Well, for Cunupia, they've mixed and matched in their team. Their strength in attack comes from Trevin Cesar, the number 11. Dominic Munching McDougall, the former TNT Beach Soccer International, he gets his first spot in the starting lineup for them. Keon Daniel, another TNT International, will support Kevon Showtime Woodley in attack. Their team, of course, coached by Michael Dufour, we saw earlier. So, referee's assistant, Sastry, just inspecting the nets. The team's offering up some words to the defined one as they get their minds and their hearts ready. Keon Daniel expected to play a crucial role in this match. He assisted in 2 goals in their last fixture, and a man from Tobago known as Killer, much would be expected of him.
Goalkeeper for Deportivo, big shoes to fill, isn't it? Terence Lewis replacing Marvin Phillip.
What about big shoes? You're talking about that man, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. He's in fine form, isn't he? Just seems every time he gets inside the box, he's going to score.
Well, we're all ready and set for action here at the La Hogata Recreation Ground. This is Ascension football action, and we get set and ready for kickoff. Just making sure that all is set with the teams at the moment, as Houghton Hector gets us underway in this match day 7. Deportivo in the orange, white and blue. They keep possession to Andre Etienne. Well, here's Isaiah Garcia looking to make inroads. Well, quite interestingly, no signs of in fact, he has been slotted into the lineup. Came in last week, Nathaniel Garcia, elder brother of the more famous Levi Garcia.
He's playing wide on the right for Deportivo, and again replacing Jordan Riley, who's been a fixture on the Deportivo's team, wide on the right. So he's wide on the right for Deportivo. So it's going to be interesting how well he plays.
Well, perhaps going for some experience. Speaking of experience, is Hector, trying to link up well with Shaquille Henry. Can hold on. And here comes Cunupia as they keep possession. Well, they've lost it just as quickly as they said that. Chavin Cesar, another TNT international. Man from Lambo, Tobago, he's gone to ground. Referee allows play to continue. Mark Ramdeen's touch finally puts it out of play. And it would be a throw to Cunupia.
You know, it's looking at Caesar, you know, going up that right side, he's got a burst of speed. And anytime that ball is played behind the defense, he's going to take some catching. There he is, Caesar. Nice turn, but crowded out.
Well, won by Cornwall. He's easily been one of the best defenders in the tournament. Well, they'll battle for this one, and Ramdeen tidies up as he keep possession with Deportivo. Ronell Paul slotting in for Wesley John, who has gone on to play internationally. Well, that's a good turn from Henry. Might open up space for Hector to get one in. And the whistle goes, and well, Shaquille Henry looks a disappointed man. Might just have straight offside though. Man from Santa Flora. Last played with Paradise FC in Barbados post-lockdown, but he's back with his home community.
It's Woodley's first touch of the ball, and really didn't have the room in which to control it. There's Woodley again to Caesar. Woodley is gone.
Tries to put him through, but he can't get past Etienne. Looked as composed as ever, Andre Etienne. It's been another outstanding talent in this competition, the former Central FC centre-back. Well, Mark Ramdeen, former Naparima standout player, he's back in the lineup. Has to play on the left-hand side of the attack.
I'm glad to see him back. In fact, I think he's a good player. He's a wonderful touch play. He's got a good left foot, good cultured left foot, and it's not a big guy, so he's got to have the room in which to maneuver.
Here's Garcia. Try to get it out of the red prison that they find themselves in. It's back with Etienne. Like to build up out of the back point, Fortin. This one finds Ramdeen, who faces a rough challenge as the ball goes into touch. Well, there's some protest from that man. He thinks it might have gone in his direction. And seems the referee assistant agrees as well. Might have been a bit of a handball there, spotted by the referee. And he's lucky not to be penalized, but he has given away a free kick in a dangerous area. Ton load of experience, but that time I think he was outfoxed there.
Still think it's a little bit far out, but Pacheco, he's setting that ball. You know, thinking of Pacheco, he's going to go for goal. There's no doubt about it. He's going to try to get it over the wall and maybe to the right of the keeper into the corner. And I tell you, he's capable of doing that.
Well, they've got three players known as dead ball specialist. Houghton Hector, he's lingering around as well. Pacheco, as a goalkeeper, would have brought back some nightmares from some distance, Pacheco. And they've also got Garcia. Not a bad shot himself.
It's going to be Pacheco.
Well, this time into the wall, only as far as Isaiah Garcia, who will have a second opportunity. Headed away by Graham, the man who gave away the free kick. And, well, Pacheco swing and a miss. And it's in. Well, out of nothing. We spoke about that left foot of his. This time he showed that he can use the right foot as well, as he leaves that man a dumbfounded man. He wants to know how it got in, but the 37-year-old Andrew Pacheco has put Deportivo Point 14 ahead in the 6th minute.
I tell you what, he has me dumbfounded as well. I never expected from that angle the ball to go into the back of the net. And Cunupia must be wondering what happened there. They never got the ball away. They were playing with it at the back, and nobody took it upon themselves to clear that ball. And it went straight onto the boot of Pacheco, and he just volleyed it into the back of the net, into the far corner.
Well, not what the doctor ordered for Cunupia FC, as they find themselves trailing early in this fixture. A bit unlucky, ball ping-ponged in the area. And then you've got a sly old fox like Pacheco around. Can't leave the hens out to roost. Aimed in for Henry, that's a good touch. Ramdeen, the goal scorer, Pacheco. Here's Andre Etienne. Rodell Paul. Isaiah Hudson. Oh, this is good link-up play from Deportivo. They try to gain ground forward. That's well cut out by Graham. Pacheco. Hector. Nathaniel Garcia. This is a good spell of possession from Point Fortin. They've managed quite a couple of touches in the opposing area. Cornwall. Quite some patience shown by Deportivo. Cornwall keeps it alive, looking for Henry. That must be about the 20th touch before Ramdeen finally loses possession. One back by Hector. He will send Garcia free on the right. Well, simply delicious from Point Fortin. Hudson might look for a shot here. Can he find the room? He does find the room, and well, that was just inches away from the first post of the goalkeeper.
Bit of a deflection. I'm not sure if it was in fact. It came off the keeper or the defender.
Well, Isaiah Hudson crowning off what looked like a clever bit, and might be right there. It's a corner. Well, they'll defend this one. It's headed away. And, well, found a sea of bodies. As Garcia keeps it alive. Too long for Hector. Perhaps asking for ball to foot that time.
But at the moment, you're looking at Deportivo, and they're the better. They've settled nicely. I think Cunupia, they're still finding their feet. They're just not getting the passes together. They look a little bit jittery at the back. They look nervous at the back. I think Deportivo have settled really nicely. They're able to get the ball, move the ball around. They've had the chance, the chance which they took well. Cunupia, they've got to get back into this game quickly, because at the moment they can find themselves another goal down, and that could be a problem.
Well, Hector crowded out that time. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Well, it's the second match that Marvin Phillip has not been in goal for Deportivo, the TNT international. His understudy hasn't really been called into action just yet. Here's Paul. Nice switch of the play. Picks out Garcia. And, well, always a tough task for Garcia to get to that. It's a throw. It's just 10 minutes gone in this match, but it's certainly been a high-intensity 10 minutes for the team that find themselves trailing Cunupia FC. Hardly seen any of the ball so far.
As I said, they seem to have started very, very tentative. They're nervous almost, the way they've started. And Deportivo, they could take more, as I said, more advantage of them. If they were to get another goal, it's going to be a tough. If they go 2 goals down, it's going to be tough for them to come back.
Well, Graham knows his leadership qualities will be called upon. Central defense. As Garcia would look to ping this one in. Takes a touch off the player in red. Still keep it alive. Garcia tries to get Paul in on the act. The centre back finding himself in a quite advanced position. Couldn't get it over. And again, it's that man Graham.
I thought better use could have been made of that free kick, and difficult to go to goal from that kind of distance. I thought a nice ball into the box would have been suffice, and to put send Cunupia under more pressure.
Well, they'll try to relieve some of that pressure as Graham sends it long and far. And Etienne just cruises away from the challenge of Woodley, who's been a passenger for much of the early part of this match.
But that's because Cunupia, they haven't been on the ball. They've just not been able to get hold of the ball. And while Deportivo, they're knocking it around. That was a very interesting ball from Pacheco. Tried to change the play and nearly worked.
Well, here's one man that can make a difference, Jabin Caesar. His pass is well cut out, but it's lost, and well, that's good looking for Woodley. But Etienne, well, just has ice running to his veins. He's so cool under pressure. But it's with Cunupia now, Keon Daniel. And Andrew Pacheco has the quick exchange of possession.
He's controlling things in the middle of the field for Deportivo.
Ramdeen. He's trying to push forward now to exploit the space. And it was space that was not forthcoming as the pass was overhit. It's a Cunupia throw. Well, they've just managed to wrestle some sort of momentum back in their favor, Cunupia. Hasn't been in the dangerous areas though. And Woodley just losing his footing in that challenge by Paul.
He was looking for the foul, wasn't he? He was looking for the free kick because he felt that Paul may have just nudged him at the back. But the referee would have none of it.
But it's a foot race on here.
It's good defending.
And wow, Isaiah Garcia couldn't get the better of that man.
Graham.
Cunupia will have a throw in the point 14 half. Keon Daniel just feel that his contribution has to be crucial to get them back in this match.
He's easy on the eye, isn't he? Keon Daniel. He's seems to have acres of time in which to play the ball. And he's such a cool player that you sometimes wonder when if and how he makes a bad pass.
Well, that's a good one though from Henry, or maybe not so good as Ramdeen ran his legs off trying to get it. But a clever movement from Shaquille Henry in the middle of the park. Did need him to be precise. He spoke about goal scoring being one of the Achilles heel of the team. And much is required from Henry. Oh, that's a foul against Jabin Caesar.
There's a Cunupia coach, and we're probably going to get him in our picture. He isn't looking so cool at the moment. When he did the interview with you, James, and there he is, that is Mr. Cool. He's lost his cool a little bit here now. Michael Defoe. Somehow, James, I don't think he's happy with the way his team is playing at the moment.
Nobody really wants to concede so early in the match. Here's Daniel. Abdugal. Well, Daniel running the orchestra at the moment. And a bad pass gives it back to point 14. Oh, that's clever from Pacheco. Garcia. And just bullied out of possession there, Henry. Well, they're finally holding on to possession.
Yeah, they're now coming back into the game a little bit, Cunupia, and they're settling down much nicely now. Much better.
Oh, that's good piece.
Serrant.
Can he get the better of Cornwall? Not on that occasion. He gets some help from Paul. It's not often that you see Cornwall taken for a run. But Matthew Serrant certainly tested his capabilities.
That was a good run. You could see he's made up his mind he was going up that right side. And just in the end, good last-ditch tackle. But Cunupia, they've got their first corner of the game, and let's see if they'll make use of it.
Maloney swings it into a dangerous area. Paul gets the head on it. He has a second opinion. And a shot that, well, his coach is not going to make him any more pleased than he looked a while earlier.
Yeah, but I think who was it? Maloney was in an offside position when he got the ball back. So the referee is going to still allow the goal kick, but the assistant referee's flag was up, indicating Maloney was in an offside position.
Looking for Ramdeen. Couldn't control it, the former Naparima man.
That was a great ball from Lewis, but Ramdeen just wasn't able. It was a little too high. He's not a very tall man, so he was just wasn't able to control it. But it seemed that he was in an offside position.
Well, it's a chance to breathe for Cunupia as they take the free kick. This one is long in a dangerous area here, and well, Garcia tried to help his keeper out, just couldn't put it on the mark, and it's a corner. So they're piling on some pressure now.
Yeah, they've settled down nicely now, Cunupia FC, and they're starting to string a few passes together, and they're going direct at the defense.
Headed away by Paul. Only as far as Daniel. It's miscommunication, but they keep it alive. Trying to find Cesar. Flag goes up.
That's good football on the part of Deportivo, their defense. Very high line. They decided they would come out early, and they caught Cesar napping.
Hector. But he's done well to navigate from the tight space, and he finds Garcia in a good position. And, well, the idea was good. The execution, however, not as good as it looked in his head. But they show how dangerous they can be.
Idea was great, James. It just didn't come down in time for him. And had it just come down in time for him, he certainly would have got it on target, but he had no other option as that ball, look at the bounce of that. So it just, the bounce and the angle was just difficult for him to turn and get it into the corner of the net. But great idea from Garcia and a good attempt.
So 1-0 as we enter the 20th minute of the match. Deportivo point 14, holding on to that advantage. Well, they're just piling bodies inside the area. Contest with the big men from point 14. If anybody can steer an accurate service in the area, it's that man, Keon Daniel, former Philadelphia Union player. Goes for the short option. Does get ahead, but it should fall for Ramdeen, who allows it to go into touch. And point 14 will hold on to possession. Battle for this one. Showtime tries his luck, but he's not going to beat his man there. Needed more power.
I thought Maloney got in the way. It seemed to have just come off Maloney. But I think he was looking more for a through ball from Showtime rather than a shot. And you know, the thing is, when you're in that type of goal scoring form, and almost anything you hit to goal goes into the back of the net, you tend to feel you can kick from any angle, anywhere, and score. There's a Showtime. And I thought a through ball to Maloney might have been a better option. Maloney was on the move.
Well, you can just hear the rhythm section getting into gear. Always bring the life to the atmosphere here in La Hoguita. Of course, the home team not playing this evening. Our second match will see Moruga coming up against the Defense Force. Be interesting what the atmosphere might look like later on. That's a good challenge from Daniel. Takes it away from Hudson. Here's Cesar. Well, one back. Cornwall sends Ramdeen on a thrust. And he finds someone at the back door and goes all the way across to Garcia. Keeps it alive. Kian Daniel gets in the defensive act. Ramdeen still holds on. He's got options. Hudson looking to make room. It's deflected. And, well, can't get rid of it. Garcia to dump it back in the area. His cross, not a good one. Well, still a red shield can't touch it. And finally they do. As they counter-attack on the other end. Pacheco's tackle.
Great tackle from Pacheco, sliding across the ground.
It's Ramdeen. Cornwall couldn't get past the defender. Well, he's showing some good footwork, but he's lost it in a bad area. And Woodley can send Chubb and Cesar to exploit his pace, and it's pace that he needed a bit more of as that one ran away from him.
Deportivo had a wonderful chance when Ramdeen, with that cross ball from Ramdeen, there was just nobody attacking it. And it was a beautiful cross from Ramdeen just inside the 6-yard area. And unfortunately, nobody attacked it. And the other thing is, James, if you look at the bounce of this ground, the bounce is really difficult. Ball control is so difficult once that ball bounces.
Well, the break is on the opposite end. And Garcia, that's a good touch, and that's a better touch to take it away from him. And he looked in on goal. But how about that for a challenge? And Roel Felix.
Touch was just too far ahead of him. He brought it down nicely, but in so doing, again, it just ran away from him slightly on this ground. This ground, it's very hard, it's very bumpy, and ball control is difficult.
Ramdeen. Well, that came close, didn't it? And, well, felt that he might have been fouled there, Paul. Well, the referee doesn't share his opinion. Big smiles all around, though.
Another great ball from Ramdeen, this time in the corner. And you could see him going for the foul. I'm surprised Paul came from, rather than coming from the back post and coming in, he was more or less trying to run onto the ball. And I was surprised nobody was at the back post to lap up that corner kick. But another good corner from Ramdeen. Tell you, in the last 5 minutes or so, Deportivo, they have started to dominate again.
Well, they're looking for showtime here. Have to contend with Etienne. And Etienne shows his strength to win that challenge. It's kept alive by the red shirts of Cunupia. It's good defending from Garcia. It's been another standout performer in this tournament.
It's Maloney, isn't it?
Etienne is fouled. And it's a free kick to Point Fortin.
Maloney is coming from some deep positions, but running into the dangerous area of the Deportivos, I would say, just in their defensive third. So he's the one who's going up to support Showtime. Yeah, they have lined up with just Showtime in front, but Maloney, he's the attacking midfielder coming through to give Showtime support.
Well, again, not linking properly from that one. As Garcia switches sides, he's come over to the left-hand side of the attack. As Ramdeen moves across to the right. Certainly not giving them as much room to build up. They do like to build up from deep areas, Point Fortin. A lot more pressure being applied high up the pitch.
It's a good ball to Ramdeen. And notice, James, he's staying very wide, trying to give himself as much room as possible. Wide. It was wide on the left, now he's gone wide on the right. He's having a good game.
They've managed to carve open some space as Hector finds Garcia with some space. Thought about a shot. Pacheco does. Well blocked. It's kept alive though by Ramdi. That's good footwork.
That's a foul.
And a challenge just outside the area. Should be a free kick. So Mark Ramdeen causing all sorts of trouble. And the only way they can take him out legally, says the referee.
This is in a very, very dangerous position here. And it's going to be interesting if it's going to be Pacheco. It's going to take it, maybe Hector. But I think they'll be lining up to kick this free kick. It's just in the D. It's outside the box. Pacheco is there, but it doesn't give me the impression he's going to take it. Hector is more or less over the ball. Is it going to go right-footed Hector to the left of the keeper, up to the top corner, over the wall? Let's have a look. Houghton Hector.
Hector surveys his mark.
Oh!
What's off the crossbar? Well,
Absolutely brilliant,
he
James.
scored last week from a free kick. This time, the bar getting in his way.
What a free kick. He actually went to the right of the keeper, but away from him, and it struck the bar. How unlucky can you be? There's it. He went to the right of the keeper, over the wall. I was thinking he might have gone to the left of the keeper. He went to his right, and he was so unlucky it came off. What a good free kick.
Well, he might get another chance here, but he's taken out. It's a foul. Well, he's a clever one from free kicks, Houghton Hector. Man full of international experience. This time just not getting past the crossbar. Here's Etienne.
Cunupia are lucky they're only one goal behind because, you know, there was that cross from Ramdeen inside the 6-yard box, and of course then this free kick from Hector. They've had the better chances in the game.
Well, there's some movement on the sidelines from the team in red. Cunupia clearly isn't liking what he's seeing happening at the moment. Woodley hasn't gotten any clear opportunities so far. The challenge here with Etienne. And well, just a bit more attention that he hoped for. Etienne and Isaiah Garcia ensuring that he got no room.
But a bad foul to give away because he was going nowhere. As a matter of fact, he was heading back to his own defense. And a bad foul to give away. Now you've given away the foul, a free kick, and they can put the ball into the box. So this is a chance for Cunupia to get level, to draw level.
Well, didn't get the height required to get past the big men. And rescued at the end, but it's a throw for Point Fortin as we approach the half-hour mark in this match. Deportivo Point Fortin, they lead Cunupia FC by 1-0. But just taking their time about it now, Garcia. Keem has moved at a pace so far. Well, that's a bad ball. Just over the head of Pacheco. Well won back by Paul. And, well, Garcia did well to keep that alive. Wasn't the best of balls from Paul. Flicked on. And Ramdeen can't keep it in, but he does win a corner. So more pressure being applied on the red shirts.
What a ball from Garcia, though. He kept it in. And when we all thought it was going out, kept it in and then turned and played a beauty of a ball over the top, trying to get Ramdeen going. Excellent football in the pass of Garcia. That's a Nathaniel Garcia.
Oh, the big man Etienne has just entered the picture. Surely be aiming for him. Goes over his head and gets past Pacheco as well. Should be a throw for Point Fortin. So the big men remain up as Garcia tosses this into the area. Hudson thought about going for a shot there, And he tried to be clever, but he's lost possession. And Cunupia keep it alive to Chevin Caesar. And he sends Woodley on a run here. Can he open up some space for a shot? Woodley! And you've often seen him do better than that from that position. Not on this occasion. Just couldn't get the coordinates and hit it over the bar.
Well, the first real chance they've had. And he was put under pressure in the end. Let's have a look. He was straight through the defense. And there was Woodley, looked up. And in the end, he was put under some pressure by Cornwall. And he hit it over the bar. But the first real chance we've seen Cunupia have. You looked at the Deportivo defense. They were all square. And it allowed Woodley the opportunity to run straight onto the ball.
Well, was that the chance to give Cunupia the equalizer before we approach halftime? Time will tell. Well, he's been amazing in front of goal all season.
It was a tough angle, though. He was always running away from the goal. He would have had to have real perfection with that shot, trying to get it into the far corner. But the angle, I thought, when he picked up the ball, he started to go further away from the goal towards maybe an inside left. And because of that, the angle was always difficult to get it on target.
It's Cornwall. Well, they're applying some high pressure here.
But James, having said that, you expect Woodley to at least hit the target, don't you? Make the keeper save.
I expected him to score. Here's Ramdeen. It's touch too heavy. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Well, the quality of Cunupia passing hasn't been at the absolute best this evening. Feel they need to get more quality balls into that guy. Oh, that's well intercepted by Garcia as he finds Henry and couldn't get his shot past Graham. No Mensah today in defense for Cunupia. Graham with a ton load of responsibilities on his shoulder, and he's done well keeping out that man. Well, that's a man you expected to see on the field in the first 11. He's been rested today. Nathaniel Garcia replaces him.
And I think Nathaniel Garcia has done well. He's been exceptional going down that right side. He switched over to the left side and he's been just as effective. So I don't think I'm not saying they're not missing Riley, but in Garcia, they've got a really good replacement.
Garcia was the player of the match in the last fixture. Playing a more central role, this time finding himself out wide. Oh, he's done well. He's gotten past one. Can he open up some space? Can get it past Graham. And they keep it alive for a throw. Oh, he's done well. Garcia to keep that in. It's Cornwall. Andre Etienne. He's got space to exploit ahead of him. Just feel that they're trying to suck the central players in and exploit space out wide as the switch ball finds Hector. Well, it's looking for Hudson. Ball cut out. Pacheco. His touch gives it back to the red of Cunupia. And here's Woodley. Always a sense of occasion every time he comes in possession. But you can just tell your center forward is starved of service when you see him going as deep as Woodley has found himself the last two occasions. Cornwall. Pacheco's pass is cut out as far as McDougall. Well, they're just playing piggy in the middle at the moment. The red shirts chasing the orange tops. Well, they're having fun keeping possession.
They're doing exceedingly well. They're just knocking the ball around and trying to draw the Cunupia players out of position. This is excellent football from Deportivo.
Hector.
I mean, let's face facts, James. They've strung about 12, 13 passes together, and Cunupia just can't get the ball. This is great football on the part.
And finally a human error.
Yeah, just as about to say great passing. They weren't making much progress. The thing is, they were looking to get the Cunupia players out of position, so they kept knocking it, waiting for that opportunity to play the ball forward. And unfortunately, Paul didn't play the type of pass that the midfielders and the forwards would have wanted.
Well, less than 10 minutes before halftime. Cunupia want to get themselves back in this contest. Is Garcia. Deflected. And it's well headed away in the end. And finally they can break the pressure. Or maybe not.
I'm really enjoying the football Deportivo is playing. They're pushing it around nicely. They're keeping possession. And the thing is, they're cutting off the passes from the Cunupia players. And they're building at the back as usual. That's a good ball for Ramdeen.
Well, here's Ramdeen. 1v1. He's got quick feet. It's Garcia. Can he keep it alive? He does keep it alive. Or maybe not, as it's indicated by the assistant's flag.
Again, once that ball hits the surface, it's running away from the players. Wasn't a bad idea, a 1-2 between Garcia and Ramdeen. And it was just hit a little bit out of the reach of Garcia.
It's a bit of a dry surface as well,
Yeah.
so it's a bit bumpy. Didn't see the sprinklers out. Usually they're here early, and Hector. Oh, what a save that was. I tell you what, he did the Macarena in the air, because he was going one way, the ball was going another, and he managed to stick that big right paw out and somehow keep it out of the net.
Make no mistake, this young man is a good keeper, and he was going to the left, and I'm not too sure if that ball curled off the outside of Hector's boot, and because of that, it was swinging away from the keeper, and you could see him going left, and then he had to go back right, and he did exceedingly well pushing it over the bar. Brilliant save.
Well, the danger is not clear just yet. Chavin says I would look to change that. Maybe some space now to exploit here. Behind the Point Fortin defense, Woodley. Well, just slowed the attack down just a bit there. Looked promising.
Yeah, Douglas, as you rightly said, he had acres of space, and I would have thought he was looking to play a 1-2, but just didn't get it going. But you look at Deportivo, when they don't have the ball, they all get back into proper formation. They all get behind the ball, and they're defending well. I think this has been a good first half for them. They might feel a little bit unlucky that they were not maybe 2 goals up. This is the shot again. What a cracker, what a save. Brilliant, brilliant football on the part of the goalkeeper, David, and of course the shot coming from Hector.
Certainly a contender for a Sportsmax app moment later on. Yes, Cesar. And, well, he's found out what most attackers have found out all
brilliant.
season. It's not easy to get past Cornwall. Garcia. Hudson gets past Keon Daniel. Old legs just showing up there from the man from Tobago. Well, Isaiah Hudson certainly felt like taking Keon Daniel for a run. Didn't do a bad job.
You need to get back to the keeper, that's right. And you notice how cool and calm Deportivo is. They've got possession, They're knocking it about. They're taking their time. It's been really a good display from them.
Well, Salvon Francis, the coach of Deportivo, graduated from the youth level. He coached the youth team in the youth league, and he's moved up to the senior team, and he's done a remarkable job with this team. Assisted, of course, by Kester Cornwall and company. Oh, chances opening up here for Cunupia. And, well, they're certainly not giving him any time and room, Woodley, as Garcia gets it away. Only as far as Chavin Cesar. Still knocking with Kian Daniel. Oh, that's a nice wrong address sent to Ram Dean. Opposite direction. Graham, but he's lost out to Hector, and the fall, I think, was a needed one, as Hector might have been away.
So very true. I'm surprised the referee didn't pull his card there, because it was he was being pulled back, and certainly stopped a very promising move for Deportivo going forward.
Garcia almost caught in possession, as the possession is recycled. Oh, that's clever from Paul. Looked more like a midfielder than a defender there with that shimmy.
Giving it away. Which is not, we haven't seen much of that with Deportivo tonight. They haven't given away the ball all that much. They've got to be careful, because we're just, 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes to half time. They would want to preserve this 1-goal lead.
Can he find some space to get a shot away? Etienne is in the way. Pacheco now try to extend the advantage. Too long for Garcia.
You have to think that the halftime, if Cunupia can get back a goal, the halftime talk from the respective coaches would certainly be different to what it will be now.
You can just see a bit of a tired expression. Have chased for much of the evening. McDougall. It's only as far as Pacheco. And his touch is too heavy. Goes out. Pacheco, of course, winner of the secondary school title with Princess Dong Secondary. 2-time CFU Club Championship winner as well with W Connection in 2006 and 2009, playing 10 caps for the national senior team. Oh, that's good from Hector.
Wasn't he at left back at one time, James?
Started off in a left wing position. He
Left wing.
also played in both positions, both left wing and left back.
Yeah. I remember him playing at left back, and I believe it was for the national team when I saw him play a left back. He's a good defender as well. He's an all-around good player.
Yeah, it's one of those utility players. So we enter the final minute of the match, and from all indications, there will just be 1 minute of time to be added. Maybe just enough time for Point Fortin to get something from this free kick they've won for themselves. Andrew Pacheco, certainly one of those players that can score goals. It's a brilliant left foot, nice free kick. And he was an avid dribbler back in his youth days, Pacheco.
Yeah.
Matured now as a central player.
I think the most important thing I remember of him was that left foot. When he hit them, he really hit them, didn't he? But you would know something about that.
Yeah, it reminds me of an old story. Played together at Arima Fire. And I moved across the W Connection in goal. Very first match we played against him. And he welcomed me with that left foot. Then he said, that's for moving.
Yeah, don't give him wrong.
Well, this is one man who can put them back in contention, Houghton Hector. Hudson takes the opportunity and it's deflected. It's a corner.
Probably the final of the final part of this game, the first half, this corner. I think once the corner has been taken, it could very well be, you'll hear the referee's whistle. Hector needs to hurry up, because there was just 1 minute added on time. He's got the corner. Take the corner quickly and then let the referee blow the whistle.
Don't think he's going to mind. That guy on the other hand, he wants it over quickly. So Houghton Hector.
That's not a good kick. That's it.
Boots it away and the whistle goes. Puts an end to the first half of action. It's a first half that brought joy to the men from Deep South. But for Cunupia FC, they find themselves trailing by 1-0. We take a break and we come back.
Friend Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages, from our marina, you can easily push off for a family sailing trip. Out fishing with the boys. Or a fun DDI experience with friends.
That says Deportivo Point Forting leading Cunupia FC by 1-0. A halftime that was full of action, particularly for one team, as we take a look back at some of what would have transpired in the first half of this match. And well, Cunupia FC were forced to defend early as Andre Pacheco and his volley didn't miss the target as he put them 1-0 ahead pretty early in the contest. Then on the opposite end, Garcia trying to help out his goalkeeper and forcing a corner. They did get lots of joy down the right side. Nathaniel Garcia coming, well, close enough with his effort. And then Houghton Hector rung the alarm off the crossbar.
That was a brilliant free kick from Hector.
Often see him hitting the target from that distance. Not this time. The competition's leading goal scorer. He knows he should have done better. And then later on, Hector, often enough you heard his name. Wonderful save from the goalkeeper. 1-0, the halftime score.
The difference is the two shots on target from Deportivo. One went into the back of the net. 5 fouls from Cunupia, 1 from Deportivo. No yellow cards or red cards. Both teams one offside apiece, and then 3 corners to 2 in favor of Cunupia. And then that brilliant save from David, Jean-Pierre David, in the Cunupia goal.
I'm sure you will enjoy seeing the action from week 6 as we take a look back. Talk about football highlights, match week 6, right here at Sportsmax. The big match, Dominic Larkator Rangers taking on Real Westport. The boys in green hoping to He's thrown the unbeaten Terminex. And, didn't start off really well for them because Kyan Thomas pulled out the party tricks and he made it 1-0 in the 14th minute. What a goal that was. Going to be on the highlight reels for a long time to come. Well, they huffed and puffed and then they hit the crossbar. And Tyrone Charles doing the bachata, sending everybody for drinks. And how easy was that? He made it 2-0 in the 21st minute. Westport looking in trouble when Russ Russell Jr. flashed one wide. And then Poon Lewis had to be at his best to keep that out. Later on, it would get worse. Jamal Francois in the 42nd minute, putting the Hatters on the goalkeeper. That made it 3-0 at the half. But just before, Karen Cummings would give his side some hope going into the half. Just a minute later, making it 3-1. But at the resumption, Tyrone Charles with the swivel and finding the top pocket. And it was 4-1 to Rangers. Oh, how close. Westward hitting the crossbar. Poon Lewis on the other end, called to some saves. And then the own goal, sabotaging the effort as 5-1 the score. And in the 81st minute, was there to be more hope? Karen Cummings certainly gave them that with a penalty. But that was all she wrote. Rian Moore getting the Campari Player of the tournament. Nathaniel Garcia, player of the match. At the Arima Velodrome, wonderful football action, Central FC. Keyshawn St. Rose, he's been in good goal scoring form, getting the first. Maruga FC haven't won a match so far, but Kirill Jeremiah gave them an equalizer in the 39th minute, giving the boys some La Luna and Grand Chimay some hope. But St. Rose, deadly as a sniper, coming in at the back door, and he put them 2-1 ahead. Maruga, not to give up, would fight, and it's that man again, Jeremiah, with the equalizer, 2-2. Some rough play as this one went into all-out battle, and then Romario Burke would send Central FC ahead, 3-2. And later on, who's there? St. Rose. Of course, how could it not be? Getting 3 goals in this match, Keyshawn St. Rose. And in the 85th minute to put the cherry, Ronaldo Francois, 5-2, taking it away from Maruga, who left with some bruised egos. And the defense force have their eyes set on Terminex. They came up against Cunupia. Brent Sam not having early luck. But then they would pick the lock. Poor goalkeeping from Graham and Rayon Moore getting their first. Getting the first of his 2 goals on the evening. Some naughty behavior before Jamil Boatswain would get the wonderful service, and it was easy for him, making it 2-0. Good skill all over. Graham had to be at his best. But Brent Sam, well, he took the jinx off his back, putting Defense Force 3-0 ahead. And later on, Rayon Moore getting a second of the match, the nice dummy, and he doesn't miss, the national striker. Was that call for a penalty? Referee didn't think so. But certainly that was cause for concern as Graham was sent off the field, the red card, and Moore would take advantage as he made it 4-0 to Defense Force. Cristiano Ronaldo type celebration and smiles all around at the St. James Barracks. Police took on AC Port of Spain. And it was the lawmen early. Mikel Jem Gordon. How about that for a finish in the back post? The goalkeepers were really busy in this one. And the defenders doing all sorts of things the coach would not want. That one deflecting off Maurice Ford going into the net. Rodfin Harris had to call out some naughty behavior again, and then police would make it 3-0. Kareem Freitas getting the third in the 68th minute. And a second, Joel Lewis, after a nice combination play from the lawmen in front of their home fans and a kung fu kick. And that was an easy one for Jem Gordon. He made it 5-0 in the 85th. Police FC on a rampage. And then AC Port of Spain would get a consolation. Jaden Prowell, the national youth striker, getting on the score sheet. And that was all she wrote. 5-1, the final score. Well, we hope you enjoyed the highlights. The score right here at the Locator Recreation Ground. Deportivo 1, Cunupia FC 0. We take a break and we come back with second half action.
Del Cafe is located at Magnificent Mall, number 271 Southern Main Road, McBean, Couva. Amante Del Cafe. Happiness begins with brew. Lasso Freight Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered.
With all to play for as Cunupia FC. Lots of work to be done. Although they never made their way to the dressing room, they remained on the field. A very animated halftime discussion. And I'm sure some changes that will be made. Defense Force looking on at perhaps some of the competition they'll have to face later on in the competition. But at the moment, it is Deportivo Point Fortin who has taken the smile away from that man. He scored 9 goals in the competition to date, and he'd be hoping to add some more to get his side back in contention. Always a festive atmosphere here in La Hoqueta and the recreation ground, and the crowd just building up at the moment.
It's going to be interesting, James. Sorry, just to cut you there, because, you know, what I'm going to say is it's interesting. As you said, the crowd is building. It's going to be interesting what happens in the second game, because there's no Rangers tonight. You know, there's no Rangers tonight, and I'm just wondering what, you know, the crowd will be like in support of them. Yeah, so I hope we get a good crowd. I don't expect it to be as big as when Rangers are playing, but you know, the people up here, they absolutely love their football, and I think they will come out to see that second game, which is an important game for Defense Force and for Moruga. Moruga would want to make a statement in this tournament. So far, they've been a team to beat, you know, and they would be hoping that they can somehow turn the tables on Defense Force tonight. It's going to be difficult, but, you know, who knows?
Well, more of the same, perhaps, expected from that bunch. Smiles on their faces. He knows he's got a rough 45 minutes ahead, as the intensity of the match is expected to heat up. But certainly a match, a very good match that we've witnessed so far from a neutral perspective, though, Colin Murray.
Oh yeah, for sure. You look at both teams. Cunupia, they need to start fast. I think if they start a little too slow, it's going to play into Deportivo hands. Deportivo, they love to build at the back. They like to knock the ball around. They've got 2 wide men in Ramdeen and Nathaniel Garcia. So they're going to be building and then looking to play the ball wide. I think Cunupia, they've got to hustle them, push them hard, get them, put them on the back foot early in the second half. If they allow Deportivo to start with in the same vein by knocking the ball around and playing their game at their pace, they're going to be in some trouble. Cunupia, they've got to start fast, put Deportivo under pressure, and try and get this goal back.
So the next 45 minutes expected to be a roller coaster as action resumes, and it's Cunupia in red as they keep possession early on. McDougall, they tried to sneak it in behind Cornwall without much success. Well, Showtime tried to be clever, lost out and lost possession to Garcia. Deflected pass. It's fine Henry. It's Hector looking to play in Ramdeen. Oh, that's good from Mark Ramdeen. Can he get a good service away? Only as far as Hudson finds the overlapping Garcia. And his cross is cut out. Can't keep it alive. Here's Etienne. Pacheco. Looking for Garcia. Finds him. Cornwall. Trying to find spaces in the Red Sea. Oh, this is a good ball for Henry. And just fell over his head. But he does keep it alive. Does have the attention of Graham.
Oh, that's
he's going past Graham here.
Oh.
Good work from Shaquille Henry. He's going to ground. The referee says play on. And this time Mark Ramdeen is impeded.
Well, that's going to be interesting. We're going to need to see that again. Henry seemed to have gone down under the tackle, and it was excellent play by him because he was close to the corner flag when he was able to turn, get into the box, and then he was brought down. The referee was on spot and immediately signaled no foul. But you know, it's going to be interesting if when we see that again. Was Henry was his legs taken from under him? But they've got a free kick. Mark Ramdeen, again, in a good position. And Ramdeen's got that good left foot. He's just got to get a good cross in.
Well, here's Ramdeen. Couldn't pick out a .14 jersey. And it's, well, not the most convincing of clearances as Ramdeen tries to keep it in play. And again, he's impeded. So it'll be another free kick to .14.
He's causing all sorts of problems tonight, isn't he, Mark Ramdeen?
It's good to see him having decent performances, Ramdeen. He's a young man.
Coming out of a very, very talented Naparima team, Naparima College team.
Hector in search of success, and well, that success eluded them. But has Garcia done enough to keep it alive? The assistant referee doesn't seem to think so. So it's just like they started the...
Can we see the replay of
first half, .14?
The foul on Henry in the box?
So that man had to be Superman to keep out Hector early in the contest. It's well dealt with by Garcia. Here's Ramdeen. He's thinking about taking him for a run here. Hector. Back to Ramdeen. That's clever. The touch. Hudson. Garcia. Loses possession. Well won back by Ramdeen. Oh, that's a good turn.
Oh, that's another foul.
And, well, they're certainly getting the attention of the defenders, Mark Ramdeen. This time, Dominic Douglas with the rogue challenge.
The referee's been very, very lenient. He hasn't brought his yellow card out as yet. But I think they're just a little bit too physical on Ramdeen. Let's have a look at this. Thought that was deserving of a yellow card for Douglas. He's lucky to survive
Hector goes
that.
in search of the far post, and that time he couldn't pick out the run of Paul. It's lurking there. Just couldn't wrap his boot around it. He's getting closer every single time. So 50 minutes gone in this contest here at the La Hockita Recreation Ground. If you've just joined us, this is the Ascension Football Tournament. Allowed it to bounce, and Etienne finally clears the danger. Here's Douglas. Ramdeen wins it back for his team, but he's lost it to Douglas. Keon Daniel. Caesar. And McDougall loses his footing, but he keeps it alive. Oh, it's a dangerous run there from Trevin Caesar. And I think that Woodley, well, if you were a gambling man, might have gotten some luck. That's the one he didn't gamble on.
Yeah, you could see a little bit he's smiling because he knew he should have done better. It just ran away from him, didn't it? The longer this stays at 1-0, Cunupia will still think they have a chance, at least to equalize, and who knows, go on to win it. But Deportivo is certainly dominating the game still in this second half. See, player is down. Who's that? That's Paul.
Paul is in a spot of bother.
Yeah.
Just
Seems to be all right.
feeling his instep. I just have been stepped on. I'll tell you what, changes are being lined up for Cunupia.
Not surprised.
Deportivo would look to make some inroads before that change comes on. Here's Garcia. Oh, that's good from Garcia. It's gone past two. He's opened up lots of space and just might have chosen the wrong option. But Garcia can keep it alive. Well blocked in the end there from Raul Felix. Hudson. Cornwall. They're huffing and a puffing at the moment. Oh, that's untidy from both teams. But it's the red jerseys that keep it in play. Reverse ball looking for Woodley. Gets there ahead of the goalkeeper. Has he done enough to get it inside the net? Wow. Came close. But you expect it to see the net bulging every time you see that big smile from that man.
Just didn't understand where the keeper was going, Terence Lewis. The defender was on Woodley. Where was the keeper coming? Stay your ground. Because he came out, he couldn't get the ball. There was absolutely no chance of him getting the ball. And where was he going? He certainly could have caused his team to surrender the equalizer.
Well, there's one of those changes I was telling you about. Raul Felix, the player coming out. Kwesi Allen making his appearance in the evening. Oh, that's a good tackle. And Cunupia would look for the substitute Allen. And what an impression that would have made had he gotten there early. Oh, that's good from Garcia. Pacheco also keeps it alive, and the referee's whistle comes to the aid of the 37-year-old.
But how great has the two wide men for Deportivo have been, both Nathaniel Garcia and Ramdeen. They're causing endless problems to the Cunupia defense.
Here's Henry. Pacheco. He's lost that one. Woodley, counter attack. They can attack quickly. They've done well to crowd him out, but Woodley come to the rescue. Allen finds Woodley. Deflected and then to corner.
That's a good tackle.
Excellent tackle. And Ronell Paul going toe-to-toe with Kevon Woodley. So the corner, it's a pile on pressure on point 14. Oh, just get a header. And Showtime feels that a hand might have been involved there. The referee doesn't agree, and the opposite end, though, it's Houghton Hector. Toe-to-toe with Keon Daniel. Here's Garcia. Hector. Hudson. But he's looking for Ramdeen. Nowhere to be found as Isaiah Garcia provides the width. And should roll easily to the goalkeeper. Well, that's just a sign of frustration. Looking for movement, Etienne. Graham gets in the way, not the most convincing of clearances.
He got lucky.
And they finally get it out of danger. Brewster giving away possession.
Oh,
Well, that's two-footed from McDougall.
lucky got away with that. I thought that was a foul.
McDougall looking for Woodley. And he couldn't find his Beat Soccer International teammate on the opposite end of that one as the keeper does well.
There goes Garcia. Oh,
Burst of pace from Garcia. He's gotten past two.
he's been brilliant tonight, isn't he?
Oh, that's good. Hudson looking for Hector.
Oh, another great save.
Well, that's the fist of steel. And you usually hear about that in Kung Fu movies. It was also almost a Kung Fu type save to keep that out. And what a good job he did to keep it out.
Another excellent move from Deportivo ended with that shot from Hector. He just pushed it and they got the return ball and he banged it just to the right of the keeper, but it was a good height for him to push it over the bar, but it had some power behind it. The second great save we've seen from David.
Well, he's been a busy man and he's kept him busy most of the time. It's a developing battle that so far
But
David
James,
has done well to
James,
win.
I was going to make the point. Once it stays 1-0, Cunupia will always feel they've got a chance. They've got to get the second goal.
Most certainly. Well, the corner will be taken from the opposite end as Ramdeen switches sides. It's quite interesting that he ran from the opposite end of the field to come to this side. This is good. Finds the head of Showtime and the keeper cleans up.
I'm a little surprised that with the corners from Ramdeen, every time he takes the corner, he's going towards the far post. And I'm not seeing enough numbers for Deportivo at that far post coming in to attack the ball.
It's Henry. What the Ola moment. Pacheco. Gets Cornwall involved.
It's Garcia. He's been super tonight.
Well, Cornwall pushing forward. Oh, that's done well, Cornwall.
He needs some support though.
Wins a corner. Well, you don't often see him in the attacking end of the field, but he's done well to win a corner for his team. Well, they're just taking their time with these set pieces. Deportivo, it's just a bit of game management from them. And, Hector is going to wait for this one. No ball boys in proximity. It's a long wait to retrieve the ball. I'm not sure point Fortin would mind, though.
It's going to be interesting where Hector places this ball. Is he, because again, when you look at the box, no one is really at the far post.
But he's got Etienne and Paul in there. Cut out, couldn't pick out Paul. Cornwall to chase. Well, he has to be careful here. As Woodley tried to sneak in like a sly old fox. It's Garcia.
Oh, Ramdeen's done well. Oh, come on, ref.
That he was caught, Ramdeen.
Yeah, but he could have played the advantage. Ramdeen was moving forward with the ball, and surely he could have played the advantage. And then when the play breaks down, go back and book the player. I'm not too sure who got the yellow card. Was it Caesar?
Chavin Cesar, yep, guilty man. Man from Lambo, Tobago, former TNT International. Well, this is long and searching. Kriam. Caesar. That's clever. Caesar can get in here. Luke Phillips does well to recover. Oh, he's done well to get past Phillips. But he's called for backup, and backup came in the form of Ronald Paul. Well, they've got such a good understanding in defense, Deportivo. Caesar looked to be clear and in. It might be the end of Caesar's evening because he's looking around, and I think because he suspects that the substitution is for him.
Well, he switched from the right side. Remember in the first half, he was playing mostly on the right side. There's Trevin Caesar. And he's shifted to the left side here in the Cunupia's attack, but hasn't made much of a difference.
It's Raul Felix with the throw. Cut out. And Pacheco would look to
It's going to be
get
problems.
Garcia going. He's got 2 against him. Well, he's made them look like schoolboys, hasn't he? Hector. And he's still got a yard of pace about him. Garcia. Hudson. Well, he couldn't keep it down. And we'll give a break to Cunupia.
From the time, again, we see the bounce, a little bit difficult to control the bounce. Had a great opportunity to keep that ball down and get it on target. But as it came off his right foot onto the left, it just bounced away from him. And he wasn't able to keep it down. But another good bit of movement for Deportivo. And that man creating so much problems on the left side for Cunupia is Nathaniel Garcia. He's got pace, he's got good dribbling skills. What I would love to have seen him do, and he came inside a couple, maybe about 10 minutes ago, and he should have had a shot. He looked to pass the ball off. And, you know, that's what I would love to see him doing a little more. When he cuts inside, have a shot, test the keeper, go to the far corner.
Well, he's got some attention around him, and he does well to hold on to it. Elia Brewster. Well, they need this man to get involved. Kian Daniel hasn't been most present in this contest. Sargent looking for McDougall. Oh, that's a good feint there from Henry as he opened up some space for himself. And, well, he just turned away from traffic. Here's Hudson with time and space. And, well, it didn't equate to a goal. Just couldn't find the accuracy to put it to the side of the goalkeeper.
Unfortunate because, you know, I couldn't understand. There was Ramdeen making the run on the right. All he had to do was to slip it to the right, and Ramdeen would have been in. Why did he turn back? I'm not too sure.
McDougall pulling out the party tricks. Lost it out to another trick or treat from Garcia. Well, he's got to check his ankles there. Garcia's taking him for a ride. Here's the other Garcia.
It's a good ball. Well cut
Well
out.
cut out. Opening up here for Henry. Oh, that's a good challenge from McDougall. And might have come off the arms of Henry. Certainly had lots of work on both sides of the ball there, McDougall. And that man, call him Smek, been a tad frustrated by the service that he's gotten in the area. Man from Palo Seco. So finally, the substitution will be made, and it is Trevin Caesar that will make his way off. And in comes former national youth player, Micaiah Lancico.
He's another player with a lot of speed, James. And we see another substitution as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and well, it's a name that we mentioned earlier. Kian Daniel, his night has come to an end, and in his place comes Karen Phillip. So the 2 Tobagonian players have exited for the evening. I think it's fair to say that their impact hasn't been as great as expected in this match. Well, that's good from Henry. He's done well under pressure. Hector couldn't pass Graham. That's good. Henry, the collision, but he keeps it alive, and it's a good goal from Shaquille Henry. And the man from Palo Seco frustrated no more as he pulled out the magic, and he got his team 2-0 ahead. And is that the blow that will put Cunupia to rest?
And you want to say well deserved. I think it was that was a Garcia again, a beauty of a cross. And Henry, he was more or less closed down quickly, but he used his strength. He was able to get the better of the defender, and he calmly put it into the back of the net. But what made that goal to me was the excellent cross from Garcia. He's been a thorn all night in this Cunupia's team. He got that ball wide, put it inside to Henry. Henry just had to take it on his chest. He was being crowded out, but he used that strength of his and just slotted it away from the keeper. Excellent goal for Deportivo, and you would want to think now, James, they should go on to win this game.
Well, they live just about 5 minutes from each other. Garcia and Henry. And the connection, a natural one. And that will be on the headlines tomorrow. Has Shaquille Henry done enough to give Point Fortin the win in this contest? McDougall losing out to Pacheco. Tussle for that one, and Brewster has been adjudged to be fouled. Well, we've seen some scintillating combinations from the wide players, and that one resulting in a goal. Well, again, Henry involved here. This time, couldn't get it to stick. And Cunupia looking to attack out wide to the substitute Lancico. Well won by Ramdeen. Might have hurt himself in the process. Ran into the big frame of the other substitute, Kwesi Allen.
He's got a free kick out of it though, Ramdeen.
Seems to be all right as well. Well, the big engine of Point Fortin just got themselves into gear. Oh, that's good. He's found some space here for Henry. But again, good defending from Cunupia. And that man, Stephen Julian, been a good replacement for Mensah.
Here goes Garcia.
Oh, it's gone well. Space opening up here. Hudson. Back wide to Cornwall. Deflected. Looking for Ramdeen just over his head. And Isaiah Garcia would keep it alive. And they couldn't pick out an orange jersey that time, as Brewster will clear the danger.
I'm just wondering, James, if Garcia had gone down there. He was clipped on the ankles, but he didn't go down. And I'm wondering if he had gone down, had the referee given a penalty. He's been really, he's had a super game here this evening. There he is.
Oh, that's a good touch from Ramdeen. Just running out of real estate. Such a gifted technical player, though, Ramdeen.
Yeah.
Well, more changes are afoot, and two players full of experience are set to come on.
Pacheco seems to be one going off.
So Angie Pacheco will see the end of his evening. He will be replaced by another former national youth player, Martian Watson. So Watson replaces Pacheco. And, well, Cornwall will get a rest this evening. And here's a player. I know it's a favorite of national coach Angus Eve, Daniel Hospitalis. He's going to be getting an opportunity to show what he can do. Talented player, Hospitalis. Allen, illegally challenged. 20 minutes remaining in this one. And taken quickly here. And Allen almost getting on the inside of Garcia. Has he done enough to clear the danger? He has.
He's won himself a free kick as well, because he played the ball, and then Allen didn't realize the ball wasn't there, and he unfortunately he took the legs of
Isaiah Garcia.
Yeah.
Well, Isaiah Garcia is a
very
cousin.
speedy, isn't he?
He's a relative of the Garcia brothers.
Okay.
Of course, Nathaniel Garcia, the elder brother of Levi Garcia, and the young Judah Garcia.
Yeah.
So the Garcia brothers and a cousin. Football runs in the vein of that family from the Santa Flora region. I think it's fair to say they're all exceptional football players.
There's a substitution Hospitalis for Cornwall.
Oh, that's good.
It's better from Cunupia.
Can they get something from this attack? Not if Etienne gets involved. Well, they've won it back though. Sloppy passing from Point Fortin. And Watson gets his first involvement. Well, Graham, he's been a rock all evening. Fortunately, he's seen 2 goals get past him. Missing his defensive partner, the Ghanaian Mensah. Garcia. Well, they're holding on to possession well here.
Oh, it's good football. That's a good ball.
Hudson is away. Nathaniel Garcia.
That's it.
And that's a good save, but as he cleared it far enough, they finally do.
I was wondering, James, when he would do that. Cut inside, have the shot, Garcia, and he did it on that occasion.
Showtime could be away here.
Lancico has gone over to that right side. But he won himself a corner, I think.
So it's a corner for Cunupia. On the far end of the field, too long for anybody. Graham does keep it alive. There's the central defender. Oh, that's a good pass in. And a chance opening up here, and Allen's shot is blocked. And they will get to do it all over again as they won another corner. Applying pressure here on the team from deep south.
It was a good shot from Allen, but there was too many bodies in front of him to test the keeper.
Taken short. Can he find a red shirt? It's a long one. Maybe too long. It's well kept in though. And it's a goal kick.
It was a poor cross. Very, very poor. I mean, I think you're being kind, James, when you said it was a long one. It was just a poor cross. It went to nobody, really. But then again, you're a very kind individual, so I didn't expect anything different from you. Just 15 minutes left in this game, and really and truly, you have to think, if Cunupia were to get something out of it, they've got to score within the next couple of minutes.
Well, Henry might have something to say, but the referee's assistant, Sastry, has something else on his mind. Oh. Can you tell that he isn't happy by the decision? Here's Etienne. He's been a top player all evening.
Ooh.
That's clever from Ramdeen.
He's got to give him the free kick.
Allen has been lively since coming on, but he loses possession there. Well, he's run into trouble and he's given it away to Woodley. And Etienne again. Well, he reads it like a copybook. Such a good read of the game, Andre Etienne, the ex-Central FC man. It's hard to believe he's just 5 international caps for him, Andre Etienne.
He's a very cool customer. He's a big individual as well. You wouldn't want to run into him, James.
Tom loads of experience as well. CFU Cup champion in 2016 with Central. Also won the Duand Cup in India as well.
It's another yellow card.
Well, they were hoping for more of an impact from that man, McDougall. And the impact that he gave is one that I'm sure Ronald Paul wouldn't appreciate. Wrong type of impact. So McDougall goes down in the naughty corner. Oh, that's good from Hector. He's been one of the standout players all evening. Together with this man they're trying to find. Here's Garcia.
That's a
Too long for Garcia.
Yeah, but he does well to get it. But again, the pass was no. Oh,
What a challenge from Etienne. And well, it was illegal. Referee not liking the challenge one bit.
he's gonna get a yellow card. No.
I think it's a dissent, I think.
But I tell you what, James, I thought he played the ball. I thought he got the ball, and the follow through caught the player.
Yeah, his mouth might have gotten him in some trouble there, Etienne.
Yeah, maybe it's his mouth rather than the tackle. Because I thought it was a good tackle in the end. He got the ball.
Long one, looking for showtime. It's a good turn. Gets past Etienne, but not past Paul. And again, it's a scrap in the area. This time the referee just wags his finger. He doesn't like being hit twice. Well, he's good. He's done well. Henry could have done better. It's clever. Here's Brewster. And chance opening up for Allen, but the flag takes his joy away.
A good movement, good move down the left side, but unfortunately Allen had just run into an offside position.
So just 12 minutes remaining in this contest. Well, we've seen 2 goals so far, Colin Murray. Which has been your favorite so far?
Well, it's got to be Henry's goal. He did the cross coming in, and Henry doing so well, taking it down, being blocked off by the defender, using his strength to push off the defender, and then just coolly put it away from the keeper.
Well, Cunupia will be looking to add to the goal conversation, but they've won a corner.
Another substitution.
We've seen some good saves as well. 2 coming from the Cunupia keeper.
Oh, the one in the first half I thought was a cracker off of Hector. That was, to me, an absolutely outstanding save. Hudson is coming off.
So it's the end of Hudson's night. And Rondell Phillip, the defensive midfielder, will replace the offensive midfielder. Looking to show up the result, perhaps. Well, here's McDougall. Oh. Got his coordinates wrong. Well, it's still with a red shirt. Chance opening up here. And here's Woodley.
Oh.
And, well, he's having an off night, isn't he? Off night, off target.
You'd have expected him to put that away. The ball ran nicely for him, and then he put it bad. Let's have a look, James, at the Sportsmax app moment.
And so the Sportsmax app moment, and it's a moment that belongs solely to one of the best players of the day, Houghton Hector, forcing Jean-Pierre David. Well, he got jiggy with it, didn't he? Going one way and going the other and keeping it away from his goal. And for that, Jean-Pierre David gets our Sports Max at moment.
Just got about 9 minutes and added on time, and seems Deportivo is going to go just 1 point behind Cunupia in the table.
Well, he's forced to work for that one, and thinks he's won a throw for his team, and might be right. So it is a throw to substitute who, well, has he just gotten a yellow card? I'm not quite sure who it went to.
Woodley's got a yellow card for dissent. He was having a word with the referee's assistant, and the referee didn't take kindly to it. So Woodley is the one who's got a yellow card.
I think he didn't take too kindly to the throw going against him.
But that's what happened, and he had some choice words for the referee's assistant.
Looking for Garcia. Might still be more changes for Cunupia, but could be changes to the scoreline as well. Here's Ramdeen in a dangerous area here. And well, a good tackle and a bad tackle. Examples of the yin and yang.
Good defending in the end. See another substitution.
So that's the change I was telling you about, and it is the number 16, Matthew Sargent, who would say sayonara to everyone. And in comes Justin Gala. So one final roll of the dice for Michael Defoe and his men. They've got a 2-goal deficit to overturn. Well, there's Graham. Solid as ever. So we're inside the final 10 minutes. Just about 7 minutes of regulation time to go. Any thoughts on potential man of the match?
That the man who was running forward there and lost control of the ball. I think that's so far who my vote will go to. Nathaniel Garcia.
I don't think anybody will disagree. Could easily run for president at this time, and he might just win. Was the man of the match in the last fixture they played here, and well, he seems set to be that yet again.
I like Etienne. I thought, he was a tower of strength at the back as well. Etienne for Deportivo. So, he's made a big difference in terms of
Close contender.
and keeping Showtime at bay.
Well, there's a man that we expected to see among that conversation, but he remained on the bench all evening. No need for him.
Jordan Riley.
The wingers have done a phenomenal job for Point Fortin so far. Yeah, I think he's done a good job. Few will fault his contribution in the evening. Man known as Spanish. So Levi and Judah are somewhere cheering on their big brother. Is there one roll of the dice for Cunupia? Here's Allen. And didn't time his pass really well. It's away by Ramdeen. Only as far as a red shirt, and wow, saw dreams of brighter days there.
4v3, and Garcia is going wide. Oh, that's a bad ball.
Oh, the Garcia is in.
Yeah, he's going to
Could still be alive.
Yeah.
And well, he thought of glory himself there. Not the right decision. Well, Paul, don't often see him fumble, but this time he's Fumble to the wrong man. Woodley! No, oh, goodness me. Well, he's getting close-ups, but he isn't finding the target. Kevon Woodley, tonight that hasn't gone according to his design, and he's asking questions of the divine one. Well, maybe some more offensive changes. Akinola Gregory set to come on. And Shaquille Smeck-Henry will call it time on his evening.
And Mark Ramdeen as well. Both.
And the man who enjoys a chocolate bar before every match, Mark Ramdeen, says goodbye to everybody. He's done his job.
That's a foul.
Oh, Watson gets on the wrong end of the defender. But his four runners have set a nice platform for him to come on to. Martion Watson. Well, they just want back possession. Nothing has really worked for them, Cunupia, except perhaps that man, Graham. Maybe now, too long.
Just that final pass sometimes from Cunupia is just not finding the player that they want to get the pass to. It's going beyond them. It's too long. Etienne, this man is doing a phenomenal job at the back, cleaning up things.
Or maybe something here.
Offside.
Whistle going against Cunupia, and I guess that sums up their evening. A frustrating one as we get inside the last minute and a half. If the score remains as is, Deportivo will remain in 5th position, but they would have closed the gap between themselves and Cunupia. Important match for them. Yes, Watson looking to close the door. Cut out. Ball kept alive. Allen. It's been lively since coming on. But the end product for him and his team haven't quite been up to par.
And that's what we've been seeing for most of the night. Woodley has had a couple opportunities, but outside of that, they haven't really offered very much, have they, James?
Certainly not. That man, though, has offered everything for his team. Surely our man of the match. So the final few minutes of regulation time. Here's Graham. Woodley. Oh, run into some traffic there. Kept alive. Again, Woodley. They need something from their talisman right now. Oh, that's a good wrong address. Send Hector anywhere but where you intended. It's a free kick and maybe a chance now to give themselves some hope.
3 minutes of added on time.
Well, that's all the time that they've got to do it. And no surprise, it's Woodley lining this one up, taken too quickly, and would be recalled. Is that a test run?
I'm not too sure what kind of run that was, because it was a non-kick. He just stood there and he's tried to. No, you're not going to kick from that distance and try to lob the keeper. You've got to hit it with some power.
I think he's trying to catch him off guard as he was still setting his wall.
Had to be that then.
Another opportunity here for showtime. Wow. I think the curtains are falling slowly but surely as that shot goes over the top. And
on the whole, it's been a good display, I think, from Deportivo. They've controlled the game. They've passed the ball well. They've used their wide men to good effect. On top, Henry has been excellent. He's shielded the ball. He's got it to his wide men when he shielded it. They've attacked from the back with Hector and Hudson. It's been a good display. And then defensively, I think they've been excellent.
well, here's Woodley. And, well, I think it's safe to say that he won't be adding to his 9 goals in the tournament with a shot like that.
He's given all, though.
Certainly has. Can't fault him for his effort. Just wasn't good enough on the evening.
Look at the space for Watson. And then he gives the ball away.
Well, Cunupia maybe with one chance for a consolation. Might have looked at Real Madrid in the Champions League this week and see, well, it's not over till it's over.
Except not everybody's a Real Madrid.
Well, just running the clock down now. Darnell Hospitalis. Gregory. I think in the last few minutes, passes have gotten a bit sloppy from Deportivo.
Tired legs.
And a plethora of changes as well. Here's one leg that has been relatively consistent, Houghton Hector. This man, Garcia.
He's been good at the back as well, hasn't he?
Last chance of the match, perhaps. Is there something for Woodley and company to celebrate? There won't be, as that man calls time on what has been an entertaining match, and it's one that Deportivo Point Fortin will walk away as 2-0 winners.
Yeah, it certainly has been a good win for Deportivo. You looked at Deportivo in terms of it's been a complete game for them. They've been solid at the back. Their midfielders have been going forward, moving the ball nicely. And then their 2 white men in Ramdeen and in Nathaniel Garcia, they've been a real menace in the Cunupia defense. And of course, you talk about Shaquille Henry up top. He scored the 2nd goal, but he has been very, very good as well. So it's well worth their victory. This was the opener scored by Pacheco. They were Cunupia not able to clear the ball, and a bad clearance, in fact, coming from Julian, put it on the boot of Pacheco, and he just side-footed the ball in the net. And then a corner for Cunupia, but this is Garcia having the shot, didn't control it, was just bouncing away from him. He had the shot and never controlled it. And this one from Hector, a beauty of a free kick, hit the bar and came back out. And Hector has to consider himself very, very unlucky not to put that ball into the back of the net. But here was a chance for Woodley. He was forced wide by Etienne, tried to go to the far corner, didn't really have any control, and hit the ball high over the bar. Then the shot again from Hector, bringing off a classical save from goalkeeper Jean-Pierre David. He hit it with the left foot. It was curling away from David, and he flicked it over the bar. Excellent. And then a shot here. Not sure if it's a shot or a cross coming in. But it certainly went wide. Then Garcia playing a ball infield. The shot from Hector, another wonderful save from David. He certainly saved 2 surety goals. And then the 2nd goal, lovely cross coming in from Garcia, and Henry did exceedingly well. He was trying, there's the cross, took it down, was tried to be blocked off by the defender. He turned beautifully and then just pushed it away from the keeper into the net to make it 2-0. And another chance here for Woodley, and you would have thought he would have put that into the back of the net. It just went wide. There is Woodley having another go. He's looking up, has a shot, had some power. He went for the far corner, and again he missed it. On another night, who knows? Woodley would have certainly may have scored a couple. Here is the stats of the game. 8 shots to Cunupia, 14 to Deportivo. Shots on target, 6-3. Fouls, 5-3. 2 yellow cards for Cunupia, 1 for Deportivo. No red cards. Offsides, 1 each. 5 corners for Cunupia to 4 for Deportivo, and 4 saves. And those are memorable saves from David, and Deportivo with 3 saves. So that's the stats for the match. It's 2-0. Deportivo in front. James is down with the man of the match.
Oh, that's right, Colin. I have a fun job of interviewing our man of the match, Nathaniel Garcia, and you just seem to enjoy winning these things, don't you?
Of course. Must be happy for the first, but another 3 points, coming closer to the top 3 in the table, so must be grateful and thankful.
What do you rate your team's performance tonight?
Great performance, I know we could do a lot better, but still thankful for the win.
All right, well, you've got that to put on your mantelpiece tonight. Thank you very much, and we hope to see more great performances from you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to invite now the assistant coach of Deportivo Point Fortin, Mr. Kester Cornwall, who's going to join us in the middle, a former teammate of mine. And, well, Kester filling in for Selvon Francis as head coach, and you got to win. And I must say, your team looked impressive.
Yeah, first and foremost, thank God for the victory tonight. We journeyed far and we got the 3 points. I think it was deserved. So we are thankful for that.
What do you think were the keys for your victory tonight?
The key for the victory tonight, is that we played as a team. The intensity wasn't there, but it was a collective effort from everybody. And again, I want to say thanks to the team and the players for that.
Well, you've got a long drive back to Point Fortin, but I'm sure it's a celebratory one as the fans back home will be congratulating you on the victory. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, send it back upstairs to Colin Murray.
Thank you, James. Let's have a look now at the Campari player of Matchweek number 6. Scoring that goal, putting it away from the keeper, and then goal number 2 again from him, and it certainly was his night as Central FC, and there he goes, goal number 3, the hat-trick for St. Rose. What an evening for him, and there he receives the check from James Saunders, $500 for our Campari Player of the Week, Keyshawn St. Rose. So we're going to be back with game number 2. Defense Force will come up against Moruga FC in what should be another very interesting encounter. So we're going to take a break and then come back for match number 2.